Hey there, welcome to the video. Now, if you're looking for more niches to make more money online through Amazon KDP, then you've landed in the right place. Now, if you're new here or you've been following along for a while, you probably already know the incredible potential KDP offers, the ability to create simple books and sell them online without worrying about printing, shipping, or customer service, and is all handled by Amazon, which makes it a goldmine of an opportunity, especially for beginners. And the best part is that you can start as soon as today. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds something that you're interested in, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, KDP has been a growing trend for a while now, and for good reason. People are catching on to the fact that this business can give you the freedom to work from anywhere, anytime. So whether you're working from home, traveling the world, or you're just looking for a side hustle that can generate passive income, KDP is a serious option. It doesn't take a ton of experience, and you don't need to be a professional writer. You simply need to pick a good niche and have some creativity. But this is where most people get stuck. What niche should I get into? Will it sell? And how do I even get started? Well, I've got some good news for you. I've gone ahead and done the research, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 KDP niches that have tons of potential. These niches are all low competition and high demand, which is exactly what you need to succeed with KDP, especially when you're just getting started. Now, today we're going to be diving into the sayings and quotes coloring books. These are some of the most popular types of low content books on Amazon because they're not just fun to color, but they also offer something different, something that resonates with the buyer on a personal level. So things like inspirational quotes, funny sayings, motivational sayings, these all give people a way to relax and reflect while expressing their creativity. And the best part about these types of books is that they're gonna sell year round and they're not locked into seasonal trends, which means that you can experience a steady amount of sales throughout the year. So the first niche we have is the Sweary Nurse coloring book. Now, this type of book is just gonna be a simple pattern. You're gonna see it with these books with some sweary sayings inside the books that you can also color in. And we're gonna look into some of these books. But before that, we're gonna go through some of the information here on top of the screen. So this is from Titan's Quick View. This is a free extension that I use, and I've talked about it a lot in my video. If you wanna download it, you wanna install it and use it for yourself, go to the Chrome Web Store, make a search for Self-Publishing Titans. I have both of these installed. This is the one that you want, Titan's Quick View, and it's gonna give you all of this information that you're gonna see on my screen, and it's gonna help you follow along with pretty much all of my videos. Now, the first thing that we're gonna see is this niche score. So Titan's Quick View gives you a niche score. They have their own algorithm, but the way that I use it is I look for a score of at least 50, and this one's showing 54, so I know this has some potential here. So I'm gonna look at 2 more of my signals to see if there's actual real potential here for profits, and one of those signals is gonna be with the results. Now, right here, we see 489 results. I typically look for about 1,000 or less because this is gonna tell me that the competition is not so competitive. And so with a result of 489, that's actually very good. It's telling me that there's not a lot of competition here. And so now I'm looking for one more signal. And that signal is gonna be with the actual books here. Just on the first page of Amazon, I'm looking for demand. And the way that I look for demand is I'm gonna look for at least three books that all have a bestsellers rank of 300,000. And so the way that I do that is with Titan's Quick View, they give you this quick view box right here. And so the overall BSR is gonna be this one under books. They also have this one. So this is the ranking within a subcategory. But really what we're looking for is the overall ranking, which is 76,000. But on top of that, I'm looking under publisher info right here that it says either independently published or this create space, which is the same thing. It's also a KDP independently published book. And so if both of those are satisfied, I know that this is a book that's selling well, and I'm gonna look for 3 of these exact types of books. This one right next to it has a BSR of 260,000. As we can see, it is also independently published. However, it is a sponsored product. And so if it's a sponsored product, I don't really look at this. If this shows up again on the first page, then that's great. But if it doesn't, then this is where people will pay to push up their book in the search rank of Amazon. And so I'm looking for organic rankings, and this is not an organic ranking. Like I said, if it shows up again, then that's great. This one right here is a sponsored product. Just move on. This one right here, independently published with a BSR of 54,000. So this is book number 2. I'm starting to see some demand here. This one has a BSR of 1 million, so this one's not selling as well. This one has a BSR of 100,000, so this is book number 3. I know that there is some type of demand now for this niche because we have 3 very similar books selling well. And so I know that there's some type of demand. And now I'm just going to look through the rest of the first page to kind of gauge how much demand there is for this niche. We have one right here. This one has in the 300,000s. And so this is a decently ranked book. And then there are a few more here that are ranking very well. So I know that there's enough demand here. And with the niche score 54, like I said, and the search results are pretty low, all of these signals are telling me that there's potential for profits in this niche. So here's a sample of one of the books. This is the Nurse Coloring Book Sweary Midnight Edition. And so we can see kind of what it looks like here. And then there's not really that much with the sample. So usually when this happens, I try to look for the A+ content. And this publisher actually doesn't have any A+ content. So it's going to make it hard to find the interiors of this book. But in the reviews, I see some reviews here. So this is the type of book it is. So as you can see, there is a coloring pattern on the page. And then you have your sweary saying or whatever it is right here that you can also color in. And I can go through all of the pages. There are some vulgar language here, so I'm not going to actually go through most of these pages, but it's there. If you want to check it out, you can check out this listing and you can kind of see, engage, and get an understanding of what is selling well in this niche. We can see this book specifically with a BSR of 76,000 is making about $15 per day, which is almost $500 per month. And I would say that's actually very, very good because this type of book doesn't take that much time to put together. And the fact is, once it's done and it's up on Amazon and it starts selling, well, it'll continue to sell month after month and even year after year without you actually ever having to mess with it again. Now, the next niche we have is similar to the last one, but this is more of your generic niche, but it's still doing well. It is the cuss word coloring book. So right away, we see a niche score of 57. So that's above the 50. So this is good. We see total results, 1,163. So like I said, about 1,000 and less. So this is in that about 1,000 range. We see the average bestsellers rank at 228,000. So that's actually good enough to see about a sale or 2 a day. So there's books here that are getting a lot of reviews, 1,800 reviews, average price of $6.62. We have this book right here, independently published, has a BSR of 542, a very, very high performing book. This one right next to it, as you can notice, does not say independently published. So they look very similar, but they are not the same. So for me, I actually don't look at these types of books when it comes to gauging how much demand there is for this niche. I only look for these independently published books, which means that they are KDP books. So the one right next to it has a BSR of 23,000. This one has a BSR of 2,000. This one is 33,000. And so as you can see, there's already a lot of demand in this niche. And I'm seeing a lot of books here that are selling very, very well. We have this one, 13,000, 10,000, 23,000 BSR. This one's 21,000 BSR. We're not even halfway through the first page. So there's a lot of potential with this specific niche right here. And with that niche score, 57, all 3 signs point to potential profits here. So here's one of the books. This is the cover. As you can see, it's just the interior that's partially colored in. And then there are some parts here. Basically tells you that this is a coloring book because you have some white space here. The rest is colored in. And then here is the first page, the belongs to page that they turn into a coloring page as well. And then basically another cover inside. And then here is the first page. You have flowers to color in, and then your saying. And then here is the back cover. As you can see, it's very sweary, but each page is different. You have different patterns, different font types, different types of things going on here. And this one actually has the A+ content. So this is the place where the publisher can add more information about their book, because as you've seen, the sample feature on Amazon is quite limited. And one of my favorite modules with A+ content, which comes from Amazon, so this is free to use, so you can actually do this yourself, is this part right here where you can add more of your listings so that potential customers can see more of your listings. It's a great way to cross-sell potential eyeballs and make more money from your other listings. And so if you want to learn how to do this, I show this in my video. Go ahead and click somewhere around the video here. I'll leave a card up that'll teach you how to implement A+ content in all your listings. We can see that this book with a BSR of 533 is making about $461 per day, which is almost $14,000 a month. And this is the type of potential that KDP has, because this one book, after you've done the work one time, can now make you this type of income. It is possible. It's hard to get there, but it is possible. The next niche we have is the positive affirmations coloring book for kids. So right away, we see total results 702, well below that 1,000 or so that I'm looking for. So we know that there's not as much competition here. We see an average BSR, or a bestsellers rank, of 878,000, average reviews at 799, and the average price at $8.35. The niche score right here is 57, so that's above the 50 that I'm looking for. And then some books here that are doing well. Let's start with the first one, independently published with a BSR 81,000. The book right next to it, independently published, about 330,000. This book is at 281,000. This book is 20,000. 132,000, about 300,000, 198,000. As you can see, there's a lot of books here selling very well. And we have even more at 104,000. This one's at 227,000, about 300,000, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of books here selling very, very well. Like I said, all three of these things that I'm looking for have all been satisfied. And so that's how I know that there's potential for profits in any given niche. I haven't changed my process since I first started publishing back in 2019. I still use the same structure as I did back then, and it's still serving me well to this day. Let's take a look at this book right here and go straight to the interior. So here is one of the pages. As you can see, it says positive quotes, coloring book, live, laugh, color. So this is the kind of pages that this type of book has. Very inspirational, very motivational with affirmations. Here's another book in this niche. So here's one of the interiors. And then the back cover has a few more. This one's a little bit easier to create because it's just a pattern on the background. And then you can kind of just put your own font or a sticker of your saying as the coloring element. And so this one, compared to the one previous, is actually a little bit easier to create. Now, the next niche we have is the Bible verse coloring book for kids. Total results, 852. So that's really good. Not so competitive here. We have a niche score of 66. So I believe this is the best niche score that we've had so far. We have the average bestsellers rank is actually very, very good, 272,000. That's good for about one sale a day. And then the average reviews, 384. And the average price of $7.04. Now, looking through these books, once again, I skip all of these sponsored products, whether it's a KDP book or not. And I'm going to go to the first one here. That's not a sponsored product. This one doesn't say independently published. So let's move on to the next. This one, same thing, same thing. So I'm just going to keep going until I find something that's independently published. Here is one right here with a BSR of 33,000. Here's another one with a BSR of 28,000. Here's another one with a BSR of 274,000. This one's at 52,000, 220,000, 232,000, 170,000, 149,000, 37,000, and so on and so forth. There's actually a lot of books here doing very, very well. And that's why this is part of the list today. Just like all of these niches, they all satisfy those 3 requirements that I look for. This is going to have potential for some good profits here. Let's take a look at this book right here. So this is the interior. As you can see, here is a Bible verse from Proverbs 17:17. And that's basically what it is. And so the whole coloring page are just Bible verses. And then they also come up with a theme for every page. So this type of coloring book can take a little bit more time. But as you can see, judging by the ratings, 4.9 out of 5, that's basically a 5 out of 5. So this book is very popular, sells very well, and the customers that buy this book are very, very happy. Here's a little more of the A+ content, a little bit more of the interiors. Once again, here is the module where the publisher can show off some more of their books. And then we can see with the BSR of this book, it's about $32 per day and just under $1,000 per month. And like I said, the power of KDP is that you can create as many books as you want. So imagine you have a few books doing well, all bringing in a small portion of the pie. Well, it can all add up, and it usually does all add up. And that's why this business is so powerful and so lucrative. As long as you're just putting out very high quality books that people love, you're going to do very well with KDP. Now, the last niche that we have for today is the Sassy Quotes coloring book. So right away, total results just above 1,000. So it's not so bad, still not too competitive, and you still have a great chance at getting your book seen on the first page of Amazon. The average bestsellers rank 586,000, average reviews 77. So when I see a number this low, it basically tells me that a lot of these books were just recently published. And as I take a quick glance down this page, a lot of these books were just published this year, which is actually a very, very good sign. Average price $7.47 and the niche score of 54. So everything's pointing that there is potential profits in this niche. We have this book right here, 23,000. This one was published a few years ago. This book is 600,000, but it was published this year. This one, 10,000 BSR, published a few years ago. This one, BSR 81,000, was just published this year. So this is what I'm talking about. This one right here just published this year, 273,000. So you see a lot of books, brand new books that are all doing well right now, which is a good sign if you want to get into this niche. So here's the back cover of the book. The sample doesn't have actually anything in it, but you can see 3 of the pages right here. Get a sense of what this type of niche is. Very similar to one of the niches that I showed, but probably just a different type of wording. This one is sassy quotes. The other one was swear words, but you could probably create a single book for both of the niches. Let's take a look at this book right here. And this is one of the interiors. To be honest with you, it's not that great of an interior. The black lines here are way too thick. And even then, it has a very good rating, 4.3 out of 5. Just imagine if you created something a little bit better than this with better quality and more thought, how much better you could be doing than this book. And then taking a look at one more book. This is the interior. As you can see, this one's a little bit more simple. You have your pattern on the back, and then you have your text that's been turned into a coloring element. And I actually dove deeper into this type of interior. So if you want to know how to create this, go ahead and click somewhere around the video. I'll put a card up for that video that I made, so feel free to watch that. And as always, if you're looking for more KDP resources, I'm talking interiors, keywords, and more, you can check out my Gumroad shop. The link is down in the description. And if you have any questions, also let me know in the description below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, as well as follow me on all my socials at JeffSetLife. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.